cloud. All right. Well, here we go. Welcome, everybody. Super excited that you're here. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. We have technology working. We have so much goodness. We have so much to share with you today. I'm so pumped.
I am too.
Yeah.
Stacey and I had a chance even for the last, I don't know, I think we've talked everything today from like lockdown to positivity to kids in school to more mindfulness, and really just being with you guys today. So again, I am super excited. For those of you, again, you're still getting to know us. When I always say when we're in our other group, everyone kind of knows who we are.
Right.
But you may not have had a chance to really get to know who we are yet. So maybe I'll let you start off and say who you are and what's so important about you.
What's so important about you?
She's important.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Stacey, and I am, of course, one of the members of the Detox Project and the coaching collective. You heard from Heather last night, which, oh my gosh, she was incredible, so amazing, so proud of her with everything that she shared. And I hope that you really, harness some good tips there. But just talking about the coaching collective in general, of course, there's wonderful coaches that we have and that all of you have at your disposal to be able to ask questions, to lean on. And I think that that's a big thing that we need to do right now, really more than ever, is lean in, lean on one another, and to be here. So my background, I was a teacher for 15 years. I have been with Isagenix for 9.5 years now and loved every minute of it. Was very resistant. I think a lot of people have heard this story before, that Shannon told me about it for almost 3 years. So if you're listening right now and you're like, yeah, I don't know if all this is for me. I was very skeptical, not very positive about the whole program. Didn't think I wanted processed shakes in a can. That's my perspective on what they were. And then finally, when I got out of my own way and realized that I wasn't the know-it-all that I thought I was, I had a lot to learn. And so I really leaned in to that learning process. And I'm so grateful for the personal growth, the development, the journey, everything that this has brought into my life. And I did leave my teaching career 6.5 years ago. I've been doing this full time since then. And it's really opened up a lot of doors in the fitness space for me, really pursuing my passion there, having a business and a model that's online with Fly Girls Fitness, and then also being able to be a mom and present with my kids and coach basketball for my daughter and be the president of a girls hockey association, which I never, ever would have had time to do. Sometimes I don't know how I find the time to still do it now.
Hockey.
I didn't do that. And I anytime we discovered this, anytime I say never, look at it, because I will never let my kid play hockey, and now I'm the president. I will never do Isagenix. Now I do it full time. If I say never, I think that's a bit of an indication that I'll jump right in. So get me to say never. Let's see what we can do next.
Sounds like a good one. I love it.
I love it. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. What about you?
Well, I'm Shannon, for those of you who don't know me. And, first of all, congratulations on getting to day 4 of our Mindfulness Challenge. Super, super excited to be here. This has actually been a huge passion project for both Stacey and I, and of course, all of the coaching collective. I would say my story, my kind of beginning of Isagenix now has been over 15 years. But prior to that, I was a massage therapist. And so this whole topic of well-being and mindfulness has really been kind of the core of, who I am and what I believe. And I just have absolutely loved. I've loved the last 4 days, just your contributions, everything that you guys have been doing and sharing. And really today, again, is just an opportunity for us to support you. One of the things that we've been doing together a lot is a ton of corporate training. We do a lot of corporate work as well. And it's been all in this topic, like mindfulness, resiliency, dealing with burnout, like mental health, all of these things I know many people are looking for. And so today is, again, an opportunity to give you a gift, to share with you some information that we've been sharing with other people as well, but just to help support you. I think, with we're going into Easter long weekend, which is going to be great. And again, any of these little tips and tricks that we're sharing with you, I think for the most part, we learned how to figure this out on our own.
Yeah.
And it's become part of our daily practice. And it's what we continue to strive for. Some days are not always so great as others, but that's okay. But we're here to help and support. So anything else you want to say before we dive in?
Just be open.
Yeah.
Be open and sit back. If you're grabbing your lunch right now, maybe you're having a shake, Maybe you're having something healthy, maybe you're having something not so healthy, but you're open to maybe moving in that direction of just supporting your overall health and well-being with some great nutrition, and just be open to what we're going to talk about here. And some of it might be something you've heard before, some of it might be something new. And I always like to say, you might get a lot of information, you might be bombarded by a lot of the things that have been coming at you in the group, but if you could find one thing, just one thing that you could decide, commit, and act on, and then within the next 24 to 48 hours, you're actually doing something about it, you're choosing maybe a different direction, a different path. Maybe you're going to act on something that you hear that Shannon says, that I say, that's in the slide deck, whatever it might be. We would love to hear that at the end. So if you do stick around until the end, or if you're watching later on the recording, share with us in the comments after you've gone through everything, what that one thing is and what you're going to act upon, because unless you actually act upon it, nothing's ever going to change.
Yeah, right. So true. I said, like, to know and not to do is not to know at all, because heck, that's kind of useless, right? And I usually start my sessions with, what is the one thing that you are grateful for? So in today, if you're watching us live right now in the Facebook group, let's go in the chat. Let us know right now. We'll definitely go back in there and check it in a bit. But what is the one thing, I know we've been talking about gratitude a lot, but what is the one thing right now today that you are super grateful for? Because I know you may be just coming from one thing from another. There might be a flurry of things going on. And today's, again, an opportunity. This session is giving you a gift to work on your life versus just kind of being in your day. So let's be very mindful of our time. And if you can write just one thing, what is the one thing that you're grateful for right now? What is the one thing you're grateful for right now?
I'm grateful for you.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm just grateful for this moment. This is something that we've been working on for a long time, and now we get to do it together. Yeah. So I am super excited to be here. And I am also grateful that we're going into a long weekend. Who knows how long that lasts, but that is a topic for later discussion.
We're going to choose the positive.
We're choosing the positive. All right, so here we go. So the very first thing we want you to do, I think we've talked a little bit about this, but it's just to imagine, like really imagine for a moment where maybe everything in your world could go right. What if, in your life right now, that you could really start to move your body into a state of well-being bigger and better than it's ever been before, right? Imagine an opportunity where your mindset, you wake up every morning feeling refreshed, revived versus feeling exhausted and tired, right? And just imagine by you leading a really positive lifestyle, by managing your mind, managing your body, you're able to stay really, really resilient, even when life throws you curveballs, right? Even when sometimes you think you can't, you start to realize, heck, guess what? I totally can. And that's what we have in store for you, because we truly know that you can if you're willing. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. Oh, I think you really just kind of hit the nail on the head. Just look at the word imagine.
Yeah.
You can imagine anything, and anything that you can imagine is possible.
Yeah. Yes. So exciting. Now, with all that beautifulness.
You might feel right now, though, that you're sinking, right? How many of you out there feel like you're sinking and the world is just kind of caving in on you? And you can put your hand up, literally, right? You're reaching for that help. And I think right now it's more important, as I mentioned already, to lean in, to be there for one another, and to ask for help. And that's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of something that you're moving in the right direction. And as I mentioned last night, right, Heather went through a lot of challenges in her journey and in her story, and she's willing to ask for help. And so that's what I believe we're all here for. So you don't need to sink. You don't need to be on your own. And when you find that you're in that state, your energy is probably really low and you're exhausted, and we talked about burned out, you're not dealing with your stressors, everything's very overwhelming. And right now, a lot of people in the world are feeling that way. And you don't need to. You don't need to feel that way. Just because things are happening in the world, Shannon and I were talking about this morning, right? A lot of stuff's happening in the world, but we are living in a state of, this is the direction that we're moving. This is how we're going to get there. We have the tools at our disposal, and we're going to share them with you. So if you're willing to put up your hand and say, yes, I feel like I'm sinking, but I need some help, then guess what? this is where we're going to move you to, right? We're going to grab a hold of you. I always like to say my hands are extended. All you got to do is grab them. And we all feel that way in the coaching collective in the Detox Project. We do have your back. We are better together. And if you lean in, you're going to get so much. And that's what we're really going to dig into today, as far as some of these strategies, these tips, these ideas that, again, you can implement in your life to give you more ease, convenience, and not the struggle. But instead of sinking, you can move to soaring. Why don't you talk about soaring? What does it mean to you to soar?
Oh, we were talking about this yesterday. I was in the bath yesterday, so that's where it came. So I was in the tub last night before bed doing my bedtime routine, and I had this moment. So some really good things happened yesterday. So number one, it was the end of our fiscal year, and so I was wrapping things up, and then two, got this opportunity to be a part of a collaborative book, which I'm super, super excited for. And I had this moment where I was just filled with gratitude. And there's been moments that I will share that, it has felt, I will say it has actually felt a bit odd to be feeling this good, and to a point actually not really wanting to share sometimes, because things are going really, really good. And I know that's not the case for many. However, it is a perspective. It really, truly is a perspective. And what I am absolutely in love with is the fact that we have this community, right? Where it's so supportive. And even on your hardest day, like even listening to Heather yesterday going like, no matter what, we have your back. That's what soaring means to me. It's like being in and choosing a mindset, choosing to create a vision for your own well-being, choosing to continue to go after your dreams. And really, when I look back at it, it's like what created that within me? It's been a lot of this practice. Like it's been practicing resiliency. It's choosing to look at the glass half full versus it being half empty. And we've often been accused of being a little bit too happy, right? And I remember somebody at a workshop said one day, they're like, oh, why are you so happy? And I said, because it's a choice.
Yes.
Like I could choose to be grumpy and pissed off and angry and mad at everything, but that just doesn't frankly feel good. So I would rather choose the other. So yeah, I think that we are living in a world where there's a lot of people feel like they're just barely surviving, but there is a group of people who are actually thriving, and I'm super grateful. And as Stacey said, like our arms are extended to invite you in so that you can soar with us. Because when we have more people soaring, the world's so much better, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and I think, you love lightness and energy, and we all do, right? And it literally is like, we are going to light up the world together, and we're not going to let anybody dim that light. And if you share the light and you put it out there, then all of a sudden the world is going to be literally like this girl, right? We're like, yes. Imagine if everyone in the world felt that way every day. We woke up and you woke up and you were like, I am so excited for my day. I'm lit up. I'm energized. I'm going to move my body. I'm excited. I'm passionate. I've got all this great stuff happening. I know I have a community that's got my back. I am ready. Imagine if that's how you actually woke up and that's how you lived every day with that intention and purpose. That's how we live our days. And yes, we can go down like moments. We can go down the path of, some grumbling and some grouching and some of the stuff we're frustrated with, of course, that's happening in the world. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But at the same time, like you said, it's a choice. It's always a choice. You can choose the negative or you can choose the positive. We've learned what you focus on, you find, and what you focus on grows. So if you want to continue living in the negative, well, you're going to get more of that. But if you want to feel like this and you literally want to soar, you don't want to sink anymore, then you're in the right place. Thank goodness you're here. Thank goodness you're listening, and just keep plugged in, because we're going to keep giving you everything that we've got, because it also helps us. I don't know about you, but I find, like when I listen to something positive, I share something positive. If I'm in a grouchy, awful mood, it shifts my energy, because I know I'm going to help somebody out there. So just keep plugging in.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep plugging in, because that's really the key. As soon as we disconnect, then we lose that connection, and that's a big piece of it. So I know we've been talking a lot about this, and I think many of you can agree, but like really at the end of the day, what's the cost of not managing your stress and your burnout? Like, I don't know about you, but.
Well, stress can totally wreak havoc on your body. And we know, of course, that the stress hormone that's affiliated with it is cortisol, and cortisol can impact your ability to sleep so that you really can't sleep because your mind is racing all the time. It can impact your ability to lose weight. So if that's something that you're trying to do and your stress levels are high, guess what? You're not going to like budge that scale at all because you're so stressed. It's also going to impact your ability to focus and everything else. And unfortunately, we teach a lot that stress is your reaction to something that's a perceived threat, whether that's real or whether that's imagined. And in today's day and age, with everything going on, there's a lot of fear. And I think, we both learned that we can change that definition of fear. It doesn't have to be negative. It can be something that you're going to channel more into the positive and face everything and rise. Like you're going to really put that into perspective. Because if you don't, and you stay in that stress state, then you are going to go down potentially the path of burnout, and your body's fight or flight mechanism is going to be kicked on all of the time. And that's in reaction to reading something on social media. You go through fight or flight. In reaction to watching the negative news, your body goes into fight or flight. It's no longer just for a lion, a tiger, or a bear that's chasing you down. It's not that anymore, but your body doesn't know the difference, right? It doesn't know the difference between you literally being chased by a bear or having something catastrophic happen to literally you're going down the scroll hole of negativity on Facebook and sucked into for hours. And that stress response keeps coming. So the cost of that is actually quite large, and it's going to impact really all facets of your life unless you decide to do something different, unless you decide to make a different choice. And that's what we're here to provide for you today, is an alternative to thinking. Let's give you the tools in your tool belt to store.
Yeah. And I think you just said the last thing here is like the thinking piece. So when we look at, what's really happening, we've got the cortisol going on, but then what's happening? So you have that threat. So a lot of this stuff actually happens within our brain, right? And so I don't know about you, but I think there's a lot of people feeling like they're a chicken running around with their head cut off, right? And so you feel like you're this disconnection. So your brain's over here and your body's over there. So the cool thing about mindfulness is actually we bring us back together. But as Stacey was sharing about what's happening hormonally in your body, because it does create a toxic shitstorm in your body hormonally, but there's actually pieces of your brain that are functioning. So if you look at the back part, we used to call it the RAS, but it's that kind of reptilian part of your brain, the amygdala, right? So that's that fear and flight. And then from there, we go to the hippocampus. And then from there, we go up to our prefrontal cortex. And this really comes down to this, guys. It's the thought. Your thought then triggers a feeling. Good, bad, indifferent. We chose to wire our brains to look at the positive, to spot the positive. And then from there, it's going to create a behavior and or a reaction. And so if you feel like every single time you're getting triggered, every single time you're in this state, and it's funny because, we have moments, and I think now our bodies are so in tuned to it that I'm like, okay, I'm elevating really good. I'm feeling really positive. Everything's good. I'm attracting a lot of good things, right? We're attracting great stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had a bit of what we call below the line conversation, right? And we went below the line, and I immediately felt like anxious, frustrated, like
tense. Yeah.
Like it's just like my innateness wants to like beat up people. Like I just get angry. Like I'm just like, like the lion in me really comes out. Yes. And someone else might feel really fearful. You might be in your head. Or maybe you're just like, I'm just gonna freeze. Right? Yeah. It's so primitive.
Put my head in the sand.
Put my head in the sand. Yeah.
And refuse to look up.
Ass up, head down.
Yeah. Stuck. Totally
stuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many of you do feel stuck? Right. Put yes in the comments if you felt stuck.
If you've ever felt
or you feel stuck right now.
Right. Or maybe it's this, right? Because this is what's happening, right? Is that we're feeling burnt out.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be burnt out. Well, it's like the candle. Yeah. Don't burn out the candle. Don't snuff it out, right? You want to shine bright. Yeah. Because like we just talked about, the consequences of burnout, it's the difference between, if you're tired, then you could have a nap. If you're feeling low energy, you could probably move your body. You could do something to change your state. If you're burnt out and stress has built up and built up and built up, then you're not going to be able to do that. I'm just going to have a nap. A good night's sleep's going to fix that. That's not going to work. If you're burnt out, literally, you're going to be exhausted, irritable. You probably have a super short fuse. You're not getting enough sleep. If you try to sleep, your mind, like I said, it's racing all the time, and you just can't get into that restful state, which is where your body needs to recover. You're going to feel overwhelmed, the smallest little thing that maybe you might find on social media or wherever that you're getting your information from these days is just going to like set you off on a rant or, you know, something that's just really going to be destructive in your behavior. And you're probably going to turn to a lot more of those vices or devices that just aren't going to serve you. And so I think you got to look at, where are you on that scale as far as how you feel right now? How are you coping? How are you managing? And if you're feeling any of these things that are on this screen right now, you probably want to reach out. You want to get some support. You want to get some help. And you also want to serve your body nutritionally. And that's what we're, of course, so passionate about with regards to our systems with Isogenics, because we have tools that you can put in your tool belt in order to help you to manage and mitigate your stresses and fuel your body with the right nutrition so that you have that energy, because you have one body to live in. And if you don't treat it well and you're constantly living in this state and you're fried, it's going to be difficult to come back from. So nutritionally, getting sleep, moving your body, things we're going to talk about today, all of those things can definitely shift that for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, I'll just share, you know, two things with that is like every time we allow ourselves, because we really are making a choice. I know I was asking someone the other day, like, do you think you can make a choice around the food you eat? And someone said no. And I was like, unless someone has a bloody gun to your head, like, I'm sorry, or you're being force fed food, like you have a choice. And I think today might be an opportunity for us to remember actually our own inner power and what we actually choose on a day-to-day basis. However, is it always easy? I will say no. Right? Because we get burnt out. But if you're conscious and you're really starting to practice this, again, we're on day 4, you will start to see that you'll be able to make better decisions because the fact that you're being more intentional. The other thing I often think of is that we are more concerned about making sure our bloody phone is at full capacity than we are. Like, it's like the phone goes to 20% and it's like shifting to low power mode. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, we're always shifting to low, well, not always, we're not, but I've had to learn the hard way. I have been burnt out, right? And I know you have too. And it's like, it brings, the thing is, guys, it makes you so much more vulnerable. Like, if you feel like you want to be exposed to whatever in the world's out there and really allowing your body to not recover and recuperate, then this is really, really important. It's so, so important. And I just can't, I get really passionate about this because I see people dwindling and I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good at all.
It's not. And I think it brings us back to that piece around fear too, right? Because you can choose your reaction, and we're going to talk about that as well. But when we really look at fear and the fact that it's pervading every aspect of a lot of people's lives right now, it's driving choices, it's driving reactions. And what that's actually doing is it's suppressing your body's natural immune system. It's suppressing it. So you're going to be more, you know, likely to face burnout and lead to distress, and distress, which is not good stress, is going to lead to dis-ease in your body. And that basically is disease. Like, that's where illness can set in because you've let your stress spiral out of control. And now you're not doing anything in order to cope and manage all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's bring it to a bit more. I love this curve. Like, I showed you this curve the other day. Like, this thing gets me excited. Like, a lot. I'm not really a big graphy person. However, I think this provides a really great visual because two things. We talked about stress. Not all stress is bad. Right? Like, I'm producing right now. I feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I've got my mojo.
We have positive stress.
Like,
right?
Right?
Positive stress.
So we're living in this, like, I would say you and I are living in a stretch. Right? Because we are in this, like, we're really taking our health and wellness seriously. And when you can do that, this is what I've been learning, because I think it's been my own personal experience, is that I get to choose to meet and or exceed my daily output. So if I want to run businesses, be an effective mom, be an effective partner, be an effective friend, you know, be effective in life, I have to meet the daily demands and or exceed it. I don't want debt to happen because we all know that debt's not so good. Right? And so when you look at this visual, right, we can see we're strained. So it can almost be, it's that tipping point. And I hear people say it all the time, like, I've just reached the tipping point. Like, I can't cope anymore. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I've got too much on my plate, right? And so that's the other part of it. And like the boredom and relaxation, well, it's like not, it's okay. It probably keeps us a bit more well, But the other side is really, we want to move you out of strain and either like back into stretch. Like if you want to do great work in the world, like we invite you to join us on the stretch because it's a heck of a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And you get to do so much great work.
Well, and they like to say that no growth happens in your comfort zone, right? If you're comfortable on your couch, well, nothing magic's going to happen there. You got to get off your couch.
Yeah.
You got to stretch.
Yeah.
You got to move. You've got to try new things. You got to be willing to fail.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right?
For sure.
You only fail if you fail to learn.
Yes.
That's it.
And have faith forward. Move forward.
We can like throw out these zingers all day long.
Here we go. Another one. Here we go. Another one. All right. So this is the biggest one because I think it goes back to your conversational fear.
Yes.
So I think this is like, let's just chat a little bit about what we can control. Because I know some of us deal with change fast and others like not so much.
That's right. And it is a choice again. But you could literally like put your nose against that circle of, concern where you're like, I'm only going to focus on one aspect of life right now. And life is going to pass you by, right? Like literally life is still a choice, especially right now, how you choose to live, the standards that you set for yourself, all of those things, that's all within your control.
I just realized I kept that statement in there.
You did. Yes. We can't control the lockdown. Bullshit. We can't.
We can't.
No, we can't.
We can't.
But can you control, like it's snowing out there. Did you ask for that to happen today?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's April 1st.
I know.
It was 20 degrees the other day.
I know, the joke's on
us.
us.
Now it's snowing. Yeah. We can't control that.
No.
Can you control, like, okay, when somebody cuts you off?
Oh, I love that. Chris gets so mad at that one. And I say to him, just choose a different story. And he wants to literally drive, he's like, he really wants to run the person off the road. I'm like, that's not so healthy. Yeah. I said, choose a different story.
Yes.
Because you can't control it. I said, maybe he needs to go to an appointment. Or maybe they need to
maybe he needs to go with Ryan because Ryan will like swear and scream and hand gestures. And I'm like, they can't hear you. Do you understand that they can't hear you? You are screaming at me and everyone in this car. Nobody out there that just cut you off or that is driving too slow for your likeness. They can't hear you. No, they can't. No. They don't even know that you're yelling at them. So you're causing an agitated state. You're getting out of control on something that you can't control.
Yeah. No, I find it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But what, when we look at what we can control, right? And so we have our areas that we can control, which is really, us, right? So when we look at these areas, like planning around your priorities, managing your time, saying yes, saying no. I always love to say, learn to say no to good so that you can say yes to great, right? If your plate is so full and you're so overwhelmed, like be proactive, like use today as an opportunity to go back into your schedule and say like, okay, where do I get to put in my non-negotiable time? Like, where do I get to practice my mindfulness? Because I know that it's going to provide me the result that I'm looking for. I'm going to walk you through some exercises here in a moment, but finding that support, we're going to talk more about that. But these are things and decisions that we actually get to control, even when maybe you think you've passed that, you can't delegate this stuff. I'll tell you that. You can't delegate this.
Yeah. And I would like everyone just to either at home right now, if you're watching, like scream out no, like as loud as you possibly can, or put a big no with the most emphasis that you could ever find on your keyboard, like type in no. You can say no, it's possible. No. Like we do a dance of no. No. We're gonna let you say no. Oh, it brings me back to so many fun events.
No.
You can say no.
No.
You can say no.
No. Without an explanation. Yeah. Hey, if you have kids, you've surely done this. Hey, mom, can I do this?
No.
But why? No. It's still no.
No.
It's still no.
No.
So we do this, right? And yeah, it's frustrating for someone to hear no, but guess what? We're important.
But then someone will say to you, can you do this for me? Could you do me a favor? Hey, could you add this on your plate? Could you do this? And you're like, okay.
When it should be
no. No, I can't.
And you can say no and lovingly, being like, I really appreciate you thinking of me.
Yes.
However, right now, my priority is actually on my well-being. So I actually cannot put that on my plate. And so you can politely say no.
This is a message to all of you people pleasers out there.
Yeah, stop saying yes.
Yes.
Practice no.
I've done that before. I've like even taught courses that I had no background, no business. Teaching philosophy. I've never even taken a philosophy course, and I'm going to teach that to grade 12 students because they're like, oh, you're the only one that can do it. You're a good teacher. We need help.
You are a good teacher.
Oh, okay. It was painful. I put myself through a year of pain for that.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Just to, to be liked.
For people pleasing.
Yeah. Accepted.
Not good.
Yeah. So say no.
Say no.
No.
Yes.
Say no.
Yes.
But now we get to say yes to this, right? So you get to say yes to you and no to the other stuff.
No to the bad, to say yes to the great.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So now here we go. We're going to have some fun things. So I'm going to turn this off.
Okay.
Stop the share.
Stop the share.
Stop the
Because we're
share.
going to move behind us now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come back to that though.
Well, you're going to come back.
Okay.
All right.
There we are.
Here we are.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to make sure that works properly.
I think it's just delayed. It'll catch up. See, there we are. We're good. It's working.
I wonder if we can spotlight us.
We're just playing with technology.
Sorry,
a
just
little
give
bit
us
here.
one
Give us a
moment.
second.
I'm seeing if we can. There's like this view thing. No. There's a way to spotlight. I don't know how to do it. Okay.
View.
Okay.
Go to view.
I did view.
Speaker.
But it comes up Sharon.
Oh,
Hi, Sharon.
hi, Sharon. That's strange. Sharon's
It is
not
weird.
talking. Why is that showing us that? I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe we go back to, no. Sorry, friends. Give us one memento. Don't want to do that.
No, don't want to do that. Just go back up to view again, maybe.
Maybe it's here. Video settings. Can I spotlight? I've seen a little button. If anybody knows where the spotlighting button is on this, let us know. If not,
This is your TV timeout. If you need to get up and stretch, go for that right now.
right? All right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Okay.
No matter what, it's still working here. So that's
Okay.
what matters. So
Okay.
for those of you who are like, why are they chatting? We can still see you. I now see it.
We just had a little bit
Right
of a
here.
distractive moment
Okay.
there on
All
our
right.
screen.
So, all right. So this is what we, probably
That's
should
all
move this
good.
down.
Yeah.
Doo, doo, doo. Okay. So the last 4 days we've covered some good stuff. I'm going to move in a little bit.
No, that's okay. I'll like pop my head in every
Okay.
once in a while.
So
Okay.
we've got gratitude. We talked about gratitude, right? And again, make sure you finish your gratitudes for tonight because tomorrow we're going to come back and we're going to do a draw.
Yes.
On
You have to
gratitude.
share them.
Make sure you share them.
Share
It's
them.
really, really important.
Yes.
All right. Then we talked about adapting. So Amanda really talked about feeling good leads to more feeling good, right? We talked about different products.
Adaptogenic herbs.
Yeah.
Dealing with
Ionics.
stress. Via.
Via.
shots.
Yeah, even our Cleanse for Life has great adaptogenic herbs in it as well. So it's really good supporting your system. But these are things that we need in our bodies every single day.
Yes.
Susie Q came in and talked about sleeping. So great. And I know you had your interview with Heather, which was absolutely incredible. And today, friends, I know you may not be able to see it, but today's all about moving your body. All right, we get to move our bodies.
And I posted a workout in there from my Fly Girls Fitness Club. So
All right.
you got to post your sweaty selfie when you've done that workout. You need to show us what you've got.
Show us what you got.
After you moved.
Alrighty. Okay. So I don't know what happened to our light, but it was really bright and now it's not. We're good. Okay. So next steps are, what do we want to help people with, Stace? What's the first thing we have on here?
The first thing we're going to talk about is vision.
Right. So why is vision important?
Well, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. You have to have a bit of a roadmap and a vision for where you're headed, right? So that you actually have that goal and that compass as you're describing there.
Yeah, look at that. We're like thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, if you don't, I don't know how many people, I'm like, what do you want your health to look like? And they're like, I don't know. And I think it's an important thing because it's not often a question. You may go to like a health, I remember going, or clients would come in back when I was massaging and they would do like their health care analysis. And it would be like, I'm coming in for headaches, let's say, but then it's like, and then tick and tick and tick and tick and tick. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a lot more going on here
Than just a headache.
than a headache. And it's like, so what do you want it to look like? Right? Like forget where you are. Where do you want to go? One of the key things about resiliency is like, not necessarily focusing what's happened in the past, but it's like, where do you want to be? Like if it was a year from now, if it was 90 days from now, if it was a bloody month from now, where, like how much more better, or does that even work? Is that even
More
right?
better.
More better?
How much
more better?
How much better?
You can't see this. I'm gonna write this in blue. Do you want to feel? And I think writing that vision out for your health is like, it's such a key because if you don't know where you're going, then we fall off, right? And we have our Isobody challenge, which I think helps so many people with vision.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, I'm in this now for
16 weeks.
16 weeks. And it's like, this is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to feel my body. So I can start to create a better foundation. So you need to have a vision. Choose to have a vision, I should say.
Yes.
Choose to.
Yes. And that could be, you know, some of you might have a weight loss goal. So maybe that's part of your vision. Maybe you don't need to lose weight. Maybe you want to put on muscle. Maybe you want to get stronger. Maybe you want to have more energy in your day because you feel like by 8 o'clock, you're falling asleep on the couch, right? You got to write some of these things down, and you may actually want to write a vision letter where you describe and you write it in the I, right? I wake up every day full of life and energy. I have passion for what I'm doing. I am so excited to move my body. That's a non-negotiable in my day. I do it every day for 20, 30 minutes. Maybe it's walking the dog. We're going to talk about, again, some of those different strategies that you can use, but like literally write it out with a vision letter so that you can get that crystal clear and you could read it out loud every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're looking at that, you know, I always look at wellness as a wheel, right?
Turn it
down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we have our wheel. It's a really bad pie chart, but
that's okay.
You know, when we're looking at this, we have all of these areas. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you want to ideally, and I'll post it in our group because I think it's a good visual, but you can start to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. So this is, let's say 0, and this is 10. And so say maybe this one is your, maybe this is your emotional health, right? Maybe this one here is your spiritual well-being. Maybe this one here is your, you know, your physical, your actual body, right? Maybe this one here is your environment, right? Maybe your home environment isn't necessarily so great, or even the thinking that you're doing in your environment isn't so great, right? Then we have over here, we have like, what about financial? Like financial health is really, really important. So many people get stressed because their finances aren't so great,
One of the
right?
biggest stressors people face.
Absolutely. And I think there's more. Oh, there's your career. Like, are you happy in your job, right? And and this is your growth one. Are you growing? Like, are you spending time with personal development, right? Are you really doing that? And this is the last one. Actually, did remember all of them. It's relationships, right? And so where are your relationships? Because again, when this is all flowing, then you're able to pivot. You're able to course correct. And you're able to actually see the sucker move a little bit more smoothly. Now,
like a wheel, not like a lopsided jalopy that's like clonking along the road.
Or can you imagine, like, this doesn't feel so good.
That
so
would
if
be
I was
hard.
like,
yes,
like this, that's going to be sharp and pointy and not roll so much. Or if it's like kind of here and then goes flat, well, that's kind of like a flat tire.
Yeah.
Right. So again, focus in on one of these areas. Stacey, you mentioned in the beginning, like focus in on one area of your well-being, and you'll start to see a shift, like even in 90 days, but you always have to have that core piece of nutrition. But I think you can always focus on this. Okay.
Yes.
So there's vision.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll talk about this.
Yes. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
So we have growth-based mindset right here. And if you are in a growth-based mindset instead of a fixed mindset, right? If you're growing, then you're trying new things, you're open, you're on this call right now. That's a growth-based mindset. You're willing to learn and you're trying new things. You're being challenged. You're surrounded by people who are going to get you into that stretch zone, and they're going to support you, but they're also going to give you, like we do with our team members, a kick in the pants when you need it. And that's okay, because you're in a growth-based mindset. You're not like, well,
do you need it?
Sometimes do I need a kick in the pants?
Yes. I need
we all need a kick in the pants. Totally. And that gets you up off your butt. So the growth-based mindset is what you want. And if you're fixed, then that's when you're going to go back to that sinking feeling and you're kind of stuck. And you might be coming to this call right now because you are feeling like you're fixed and stuck and you want to move. You don't want to stay there.
Yeah. There's another word for the F too.
We won't
go there.
There's a lot of F words that we can use. I like fun. Yeah.
Family.
Fitness. Fly.
Friendship.
Focused. We could go down the F path for a good while there.
It's all good.
And we won't say my nickname. Anyway. Just only when I have a couple of drinks. Okay. Growth legit. So growth-based mindset. So what are some of the tools that we can use for a growth-based mindset? How would you do that?
Okay, affirmations.
I don't know if my writing is going to look as beautiful as yours.
Well, you may spell it right. I usually screw that up. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, affirmation. So what is an affirmation?
I am strong.
Oh, I love that one. I am brilliant.
I am creative.
God, why is it so easy that I am able to attract incredible people in my life?
Oh, I like that one. I am a wonderful mom.
I am a brave, courageous woman.
This is one that my kids say every night before bed. I am strong, I am smart, I am beautiful, and every day in every way I'm getting better and better.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, so good. All right. So anything, and you know what? I am a pillar of light. That was one. So I've been rewriting these and I have them tucked in. I have them right there. Like, I am a guide. I am a teacher. I'm a lifelong learner. So these are different words. I am fearless. I am Wonder Woman. You can do any of these I am statements. And then the other one that I've always loved, and I learned this from one of our mentors. And so you can use whatever spirituality or faith. I love to use the word God. You might want to use universe, whoever you want to use, right? But it's having them at that kind of realm of possibility. So it could be, God, universe. Why is it so easy? Why is it so easy that I am able, I can, I achieve, whatever it is, fill in the blanks. But this is such a beautiful one too, right? And so it's just this opportunity to realize that there's so much more. Like there's so much more out there. There's so much more abundance, but if we block the abundance, then it's not gonna show up. And it's not like, I'm just gonna wish this to happen. The action part also has to come into play. So we do need to manage our mind, and then we need to go to work.
Yes.
At achieving some of the stuff, right?
I think it also comes back to that vision too, right? Like this is a cyclical thing.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to have that growth-based mindset and you're going to use affirmations and you're going to have that, why is it so easy? We already talked about what you think about, you bring about, what you focus on, you find. That's what's going to grow. And so if you actually have that vision letter, or maybe you've made a vision board, you want to put this stuff everywhere that you can see it. So you just mentioned that you have sticky notes on your desk. So there's been times in my life where I've had sticky notes all around my bathroom mirror. And it's all of these I am statements, but it's also who I'm helping.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I'm going to reach out and I'm going to help with nutrition and coaching and all of these things that we do, then you want to think about those people because now you're you're serving. And when you serve, that's going to be better energy too.
One of the things, if I follow Tony Robbins, you may follow Tony Robbins from time to time. And he was really talking about happiness. And he said, happiness kind of comes in three lanes. One is our ability to feel significant. So whatever that meaning is to you, and we provide meaning to anything, right? With anything that we see, we provide a meaning to it or a story to it. So there's that level of significance. Then there's the area of growth. Right. And so you got to think, if you're not growing, you're what?
Dying.
Right. So we don't want the opposite. We want more of the positive. So the growth, right? And then the other key factor was contribution. So when you're contributing, when you're serving, when you're being uberly generous, when it's people before profit, then you're winning, right? Then you really kind of feel, it doesn't necessarily mean the shiniest car, the biggest home. It's like, this mindfulness work, this resiliency is an inner game. And this is our home. Like I love my home. It's always under repair, but so am I. And that's the beautiful thing is that we all get to choose to do our own renovation. We all get to choose to clean things up, because when we do the work and you lean into the fear or you lean into the resistance, one thing I've definitely learned is that when I've leaned into the things that I'm shying away from, that comfort zone, and I realize like I just lean into it a little bit further, like going, oh, this doesn't feel good. It's a breakthrough. And there is so much light at the end of that. It's like, it's just that extra step, but we kind of hold ourselves back a little bit. And I think the other part of the growth mindset is community.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Jim Rohn was actually quoted as saying that you are some of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you've ever heard that before, if you've done work in personal growth and development, you've probably heard that saying. And if you think about that, the 5 people that you spend the most time with are probably similar in as far as their background, maybe even how much money they make. You probably have about the same amount of kids. You have similar interests. You have similar educational experience. And if those people, as we mentioned already, if they're positive and they're going to give you the swift kick in the pants when you need it, and they're going to challenge you into that stretch zone, that's what you want. If they're like negative and right now they're complaining about everything happening in the world, and it's like, come on down into the negative toxic space with me because it's just really so much fun there. Like if you're surrounded by that, that you're having more of that in your life, right? So you may either need to pick your friends wisely or make some new friends. And that's kind of, again, what we're here for, because community is essential.
Can you imagine having us every day for the rest of your life? Sorry.
I think they would have a lot of fun.
I think so too. I mean, like, I just thought of that. Some people are like, there's absolutely no way on earth I'm going to spend every day with those two laptops. Oh, but we're having fun. We're having fun, right? Yes. And so again, I think you're right. That the whole piece of, it's the community, it's our mindset, it's the decisions we're making, and environment is always stronger than willpower, right? And we can go to work in life and do these things and be like, okay, today I'm going to eat better, and tomorrow I'm going to hit the gym. And then the next day rolls around and it's like, crap, I didn't do it again. Right. And so if you have accountability partners and if you have people who literally have your back, we have your back. We are here. We've been through it, and we still have lots of growing to do. And our community is really there to support you. Everybody's at different ages and stages, but everybody brings their own sage wisdom of whatever they've learned, and we're here to serve. And that's really what a lot of this is. It's like, it's practicing your deep breathing. It's like doing your journaling. It's doing a lot of these little things.
It's work.
It's work.
It's work.
It's intentional work. Though.
Yes.
It's very intentional work. It's beautiful work. It's life work.
Well, it's work that allows you to thrive and prosper and do all the things that you want to do. And so that you have the energy to do everything that you want to do. And, I think we could talk about non-negotiables and having that community support that's going to cheer you on no matter what. But, what do you do to start your day? Are you getting up and are you immediately going to your phone and you're in that negative space? Or are you plugging into a community like the Detox Project and going, what's being shared in here in this community that I belong to that's going to support my day? And, what's happening with movement and what challenge is going on? And can I plug into the word of the day to support my mindset for the day? All of those things are there for you. And we've had some exciting news coming up. So I'm not going to say that yet, but we can share that screen. Yeah. But we're definitely going to write community on the board, because that is something that we definitely want to talk about. And I think, that routine that you have, the intention that you start your day with, and how you move your body, how you set up your mindset and your energy, it's all really, really key. It's something that is a habit, and it does take work. But again, it will eventually become non-negotiable when you put the work in and you make it a habit.
Well, and I think the other thing is too, you start to value yourself higher than maybe you've had before. And, and just generally speaking, with the amount of women that we've worked with, and I know men fall into this caveat too. So I'm not saying that men are excluded in any way. But there is this kind of idea that if I just make sure everybody else is okay, then everything's okay. And I don't know about you, but that's a big crock of crap, right? Because one thing I do know, your family, my family, does not want to see me less than. They don't. It's not a badge of honor to be so bloody exhausted, to not have community, to not be living your best purpose. And second to that, you're become a really crappy role model. Like, I don't want my kids or my daughter or my two boys to see mom so burnt out and just like dragging myself through the day. That doesn't really give them a lot of hope of what life's to look like. And so I want to be able to advocate for them. And this whole thing of resiliency is really, again, an opportunity for you to become your own advocate, to start to get in the driver's seat of your health and, learn and grow and make mistakes. I thought even this, like last night, our thread that we have, and, there's a group of us that are in this thread, and we've been supporting this entire event, right? So thank you to, all of the coaching collective who has supported this event and will continue to support this group, here and beyond. But there's nothing better than be able to just see the messages of support and love and, to share your victories or to share your sadness. We've had times where people have lost, friends and family members, and, you have a community of people here to support you. So it makes the world go round. It really does shed some light when sometimes it doesn't always feel that way.
That's right.
All right. So let's talk about April, because we are going to have something fun coming for the whole month.
Yes.
Whole month.
Yes. We're going to hold pens. I shared this the other day. I think it might have even been today. I'm not sure what day it was that I shared it, but it was one of my positive thoughts. You hold the pen to your story.
Oh.
So start writing it.
I like that.
Right? So literally pick up your pen and don't let anybody else hold your pen.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody else set your standards. It's not their choice, it's yours. So hold your pen, hold on to it, and get writing, because literally the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. You can be, do, have anything that you put your mind to, with some work, some support, some community, and our help.
Yeah. So let's jump in here, because I know that we're a little bit past the 45 mark, and I want to make sure. I know.
Yeah.
And I have a mental health seminar to give.
Yes.
At 1 o'clock.
Okay. Yes. We gotta wrap this up.
So this is happening. It's starting already. We are going to really kick this off next week on Tuesday. And so for the entire month of April, if you've enjoyed the last 4 days, we want to invite you into our Detox Project. This is our paid community. You will be required to have an account with Isogenics and have some products. Maybe there's some products here today that the last couple of days that you've Ionics Cleanse Shake. Maybe you want to do a system. Maybe you're like, I really want to lose some extra weight. I want to deal with some of the body inflammation. I want to sleep better at night.
Yeah.
You know, get your groove on.
Move better.
Feel
better.
Yeah.
Look better. Eat better. Do better.
Better. Good, better, best. Never let it rest you. Good is better and you better is best. There you go. Okay. So April, right? What do we have on? What do we have on for this challenge?
Well, again, I mentioned the words of the day. We're going to have challenges throughout the month around movement, and different prizes will be given out. We always have a poll, so you can do a daily check-in, which is great for accountability. So that's going to be in there. We also are going to do a more in-depth, I know we've done a lot here, like we really have shared a lot, but we are going to do a master class on resiliency in that group. So that's going to happen in the month of April as well. And again, just that support community. We've got cleanse days.
We've got yoga.
Oh yeah, that's
yoga
right.
with Jenna.
Yes.
We've got some mindfulness and meditation. Amanda's going to walk us through some of that once a week as well. We've
healthy drinks
and
not so healthy drinks.
Healthy drinks and not so healthy drinks. So like a lot of fun, right? A lot of great things. As you can see, we like to have a good time. And I think, just as we're coming to a wrap, it's just really an important piece that if at all through the last couple of days, you have been curious, you're like, okay, what if, that was the biggest thing for me. It took you 3 years. It took me 5 weeks.
Don't take 3 years. I'll just say that.
Right? It happens.
Don't.
It happens, but get your questions answered. Book a call with one of the coaching collective coaches. The person who brought you into the group is the person you want to go back to, and just have a call with them. Listen, share, where you're at, and then together we can help you paint a vision. If you want to paint a vision for your health and you're stuck and you're like, I don't even know where to start, reach out to one of us, because we're here. We can help you cast that vision. We can, and of course, we'll welcome you into our community. We're here to help support you. And April is going to be amazing. It's going to set us up for May. And as we move into summer, it's just going to be a lot of fun. So I don't know if there's any questions. We'll go back and answer the questions actually in the chat. Did you learn anything new today?
I have learned that really, we just have to be really intentional and focused.
Yeah.
Right. We just have to make that vision. Vision is kind of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say one thing quickly before we wrap up, just about the challenge and about the fact that you can have that choice to say yes to you and yes to your health. I always like to say this. You either give the system a try and you totally get your sexy back, or you can get your money back.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has a 30-day money back guarantee. So you really have no risk. So I say just, get back to that person, say, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm open, let's give this a go, because what do you have to lose? If things haven't been working, why don't you try something different so you can get different results? So jump in. And if you really don't feel great, get your money back.
Yeah, totally great.
Yeah.
And if you want to join the coaching collective, let us know, because we are always looking for more like-minded, men and women who want to continue to share this message. So if you're like, I want to do what those two ladies are doing, please let us know.
How cool would it be if we had, a bunch of these guys leading the session?
I know. That'd be amazing. It's going to happen.
We're going to put that challenge out there.
Yeah.
Who's
awesome.
Next?
Who's next? All right, guys, enjoy your long weekend. Happy Easter, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you on the other side in the group on Monday and Tuesday of next week. If you're not ready yet, totally cool. Stay in this group. We're going to continue to serve you, continue to support you. We want to be super generous and give you as much tools and tips that you need in order to thrive in your life. So with that, many blessings. Have an incredible day. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Take care.
Take care.